I'm Kelsey. I'm a personal trainer in Vancouver, strength trainer. I specialize in weight training, and I am going to work out today and do a demo of a program that I love when I'm bringing in new clients. Regardless of their level, there's lots of different ways you can challenge this workout. I'm going to start with a warm-up. That's my favorite warm-up, and I've been doing it a long time with clients and a long time on my own, and I love it. And it's a great way to just get the body moving right away and get some mobility going. So I start by instructing clients to bring their feet nice and wide, and then I stretch through the inner thigh. This is a Cossack squat, so if you're familiar with it, you can drop into it, pop the toe up. For new people, that might be a bit much, so rather than show them the whole version, I try to just gently start here. I say you can pop your hands to the floor and find some tight points. Their heel might pop off, and as long as it's not dangerous, just kind of leave them be as you get going and get them moving. We're gonna alternate 10 total, 5 each side. I tell people to go at their own pace. Some people really whip through this, but I really want to emphasize the stretching and getting the most out of it that you can. So I notice that a lot of people will just shift pretty high side to side because they just want to get through the warm-up to the workout. But try as much as you can to find your tight points, work through it. I even find sometimes my left hip will pop and I'll get a little click, and then I kind of feel like I'm shifted in the right place. And yeah, spend some time in those sticky points and try not to rush your warm-up. Once we're done 10, I step into a nice long lunge. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, stretch through the back leg, and we're gonna twist towards the knee that's forward, up to the ceiling, back down and up. 5 each side, so this creates nice stretch through the hips, as well as getting the spine and the chest moving. If this is too much for people, you can have them pop their knee on a mat and twist from there. Once they're done 5 each side, or 5 on one side, switch, twist the other way. I also find people will kind of whip through this. They just want to quickly get it done, so it's very floppy. Try to emphasize getting the most out of the workout that you can and setting your intentions for the day. I don't like when it's rushed and kind of sloppy. So 5 each side, nice and quick. We're gonna go feet about hip width apart. Start by stretching through the back of the legs. If they can, reach for the toes and send the hips down, chest open. If that's too much, bring to prayer hands or a yoga squat. And then we're gonna walk it out and hips down, chest open. People can also place their knees on a mat here. And then if they can, knees off the ground, inching their way back. So you get a little bit of shoulder stability, core work. And we're gonna repeat 5 of these. So this is 2, and back. And we'll go 3. And back. And I'm gonna pop my hair up after this because it's bugging me. 4, I got too excited. Started too quickly. And 5, and walk it out. And to finish the warm-up, I like to finish how we started with that Cossack squat. And if they are brand new to the gym, this is kind of a nice way to show that that little bit of work maybe opened up a little bit more space in the hips. So if you get them to go through 10 more, a little bit more active this time, they might actually start to feel the work that they did produce some results. They got a little more mobility in the hips. I'm feeling a bit warmer already, which is great. And 10. All right, so I'll say from here I give water break, rest. I'm gonna get myself in the game by popping the hair up, and then we'll move on. Okay, first part of the warm-up is done. I love starting with that movement-based warm-up, especially with new clients, just to get things going and them feeling like they're getting right into the workout. You could, depending on the client, do more like lengthy stretching or static stretching, depending on what they need. But if you've had a consult with them and worked with them already a little bit, you might know what is best for them. This next part is still warm up. Some would call it activation or movement preparation. This can also be varied depending on what you think is best for your client or your group. If it's relatively new group, or depending on the workout, I like starting with something that will warm up the body and prepare for exercise. If with new clients, this can also be a great chance just to give them a couple simple exercises and lengthen the warm-up so that they feel more secure going into the rest of the exercises. So this should be simple. You can make it more difficult depending on how advanced the client is. But we're gonna start with a glute bridge. So 20 reps, my toes are pointing forward, my knees are pointing forward, so I'm stabilizing through the hips. I'm gonna glute bridge up and then come back to the mat and up, and we're going for 20 reps. Right away, I can really feel my glutes. I can really feel my glutes and my hamstrings, and for a lot of people, they feel the front of their thighs or nothing at all. So you can start to talk to them through this and just try to hear what they're feeling. But I would wait to give specific cues unless you know something is off immediately, and let them go through this exercise. And you can mention squeezing your glutes and keeping the feet pressed into the floor if that is changing. But for the most part, on the first set, just leave them be. And if an advanced client finds this to be way too easy, they should be able to check into their glutes right away. And if they're not, then this exercise is not too easy for them. All right, once you're done 20 with your client, you can give them a 20, 30-second rest. I'll demo this next one. Here, let me spin around. We're gonna do a bear crawl shoulder tap. So knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. You're gonna lift the knees about an inch off the ground, and then keeping the core nice and tight, you're gonna tap the opposite shoulder, back, tap. So this is great for warming up the core, the shoulders, giving kind of a variation on the plank, because I find a lot of people have experience with planks once they've come in. But this will automatically get them their body bracing and holding tension. So it's a good place to start without having to give too many directions and without having to worry about giving them a big exercise and they aren't already warmed up and in tune with core and bracing. It's already set for you for the most part. So for that one, I would do 10 each side, or sorry, 10 total, 5 each side for a beginner. But if you have more of an advanced client, you could give them 20. If you have a group class, you can give them a range of rep count. And back into the glute bridge, just one more set, warming up the glutes, connecting to the hamstrings so that you are prepped and ready for your first big exercise. You can bring the hands up to the ceiling, nice tight core, and watch that someone isn't hyperextending at the top. That won't give them any more glutes. If they are feeling lots of quads, you can even get them to go smaller in range of motion and just squeezing the glutes, and it could be very minimal, but really depending on the person, that could feel like a lot for them. And just getting that connection is the main reason why we're doing this right now, is just getting that connection. So we'll do one more bear crawl shoulder tap, and then I am warm and ready. Whew. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, plus 10. And really watch how your hips are shifting. I definitely have more weakness in my left hip, so it tends to want to go and swivel more. So I really focus on that side. All right. Okay, now we're warm. Now I'm warm and ready, and we're gonna move on. First exercise of the workout is the Poliquin Step Up. This one is great for stabilizing the knee joint, strengthening the VMO, and you do get a little bit of glute out of it. I love starting clients with this because a lot of people mention knee pain, previous knee issues, ankle issues. So this is a great place to start. And it's fairly simple. It might take a little bit of setup and a little bit of instruction because it's not one that you see every day, but it is worth it because within a few weeks they already feel like they're walking better and moving better and more stable. What you need is a little bit of a heel elevation and then probably like 4 to 6 inch box. In our gym, we don't have direct wedges or specific boxes, but that shows you that you can make this work with any of the materials you have around you. So I'm just using a 45 plate, bumper plate, and then a dumbbell that's hex shaped and it won't roll on me. So if you have brand new clients, you could make the heel elevation smaller, but a little bit of heel elevation is nice because a lot of people's heels kick up anyways, anytime that you're trying to do an exercise where there's ankle mobility required. So I do like the elevation in this and the position that it puts in the knee, but you'll see it done a million different ways. It has become really popular on social media right now, but this one in particular is the Poliquin Step Up, and you guys can Google him. It's kind of cool to learn about other strength trainers and where a lot of these exercises originated from. So in this exercise, I'm tapping the opposite heel to the ground. It's a light tap, and then I come up, fully straighten my leg, tap, and up. My leg that's working is slightly turned out, maybe 5 degrees, and I am hinging through the hip as I step down. Sometimes clients will tilt their hip up to reach the floor, and that will cause a lot of issues, but it's a quick fault that you can see and fix. And also, if they have weakness through the glute med or other imbalances, they might collapse in, and you'll see the line of their femur shift in, and again, you can just instruct them to press out. This is a fairly small range of motion. It is a very small range of motion. And so we're gonna go for 25 to 30 reps, which is high rep. But for this particular exercise, it makes sense with the small range of motion. I've heard other rep ranges and people go for strength, more of a strength rep range on this. I prefer the high rep for the purpose that I'm using it for. And I really only bring it in for that purpose, to stabilize, to get a little bit of VMO action. And sometimes I'll do it as a warm-up for clients or movement prep for whatever we're doing that day. You could even tack it on as maybe like kind of a drop set after a back squat. There's a lot of ideas you can bring to this, but whatever exercise you're picking, just make sure that you have purpose for it, the reason you know why you're using it and why you're giving it to the client. In this instance, it is very achievable for a new client. Maybe they would have to hold on to something, but I've worked with this exercise for a long time now, and very few clients need that, and they might only need it for the first week. And again, like maybe you have them on a lower heel elevation and they're holding something, but after a week or two, you'll find that they progress out of that pretty quickly and they stabilize. And that's exciting for them to see too, that they're progressing in the exercise. So we're gonna go 25 to 30 each leg, rest, and then we're gonna move on to the next exercise, which I will show you. So for our next exercise, we've just done the Poliquin Step Up, 25 to 30 each side. Rest roughly 30 seconds. If it is a new client, you could give them up to a minute. You'll be able to visually see when they are needing that minute, and try not to push them because that can end up shortening your workout because they'll get nauseated, they might start to feel faint. So you want to kind of protect them early on and not rush things. If you have more of an advanced client who's like boom, 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 or an endurance person, 30 seconds is great. And we're gonna move on to this upper body exercise. This is a seated lat pull down with a dual pulley. The nice thing about this is that you have to stabilize both sides. So individually, they are having to stabilize both sides rather than one fixed position. This neutral grip is a nicer grip for people to start with, and it's more adaptable
to someone who's just starting out training or coming back from an injury or going through a stabilization program. It recruits a lot of biceps. So this is a great exercise for anyone. And we're gonna go for 17 to 20 reps. 17 to 20 rep range is more of an endurance rep range and a great place to start when you're stabilizing a new client. Or any client. I should stop saying new client because it really is any client. Everyone needs to come back to these kinds of basic exercises. Squeezing the shoulder blades, and it's 3 seconds on the way up. I think I have about 10 more if I'm not crazy. Shoulders away from the ears, really touching on that shoulder blade squeeze. 3 seconds of tension on the way up. So if it's 3 seconds of tension on the way up, 1 second on the way down. Good. Okay. So 20 reps, 17 to 20 reps, 30 seconds rest, and I'm going to go back to my leg exercise. I am going into set 2, 25 to 30 reps, short range of motion. Keep that in mind for why it is such a high rep range. And my tempo is 1-0-1-0, so 1-1,000, 1-1,000. Watch how the knee is tracking. You don't want it caving in. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo, that burned. Okay, right side, same setup. This is my good leg though, so now we are flying. Light touch to the ground. There, 2, 1, okay. 30 seconds rest, and then I'm back on upper body. For new clients, you can give them dumbbells on set 2 if you feel like they could use that challenge. If body weight was enough, just leave it for week 1. This is a great way just to get them moving in the gym. Try not to overanalyze things or overemphasize your cues and corrections. Just get them moving. We're already into set 2. This workout's flying by. Okay, come on. Come on. And I'm gonna push myself and go heavier because that was too late for me. So 3 1,000. Last 10. You can definitely feel your forearms start to burn on this more than your back and your biceps, but that is part of the exercise, working the grip strength. For new clients, it might really overtake any other feeling that they're having, but that is a growing pain of this workout, and just let them know that it will pass. For 20 reps, you are gonna get some forearms because that is a long time to be holding weight. Whew. So 30 seconds. One more set. I haven't done 20 reps in a long time. Last set, best set. This is the third set. 3 sets of this. We're going really high reps. That is enough. So again, 25 to 30 reps. Last time. You want to make sure that they have the same resistance relatively throughout. You can start them off body weight and introduce dumbbells. Or if they've been training and you noticed on that first set that they can add in some weight, try to keep it consistent. And really question and ask them at the end of the set where they're feeling it. Try not to lead the question with, did you feel glutes? Did you feel your VMO? Make it open for them to answer where they felt it, and don't take it too personally if they say something crazy like their arms or their hands. Just let it be, because it's week 1. Okay, woo, good. All right, right side, 25 to 30, heel tap. So 2 seconds per rep, 1 on the way down, 1 on the way up. 30 reps is 60 seconds per leg, 120 seconds to do both legs. So you're into that endurance training, which is a lower intensity type of training than if we were going for less reps. So it's a nice place for them to start, even though it does burn. Woo! Okay, 30 seconds. And then pull down. Last time. Woo! Okay. Last time, 20 reps. Almost there. First part of the workout. And this is 3 seconds on the way up, 1 second on the way down, so 4 seconds per rep. 20 reps. Okay. Slight backward lean, I forgot to say that. Lift your chest up, drop the shoulders down, squeeze the shoulder blades. Yes, your hands are gonna burn. Yes, your forearms are gonna burn. Last one. Woo! Okay. That burned. So first exercise was the Poliquin Step Up, which would be labeled as A1. A2 was your dual pulley neutral grip lat pull down, 17 to 20 reps. 17 to 20 reps is our magic number for this program. We are into stabilization, endurance, and just getting you guys back into the gym. When you're working with this rep range, you are at a lower intensity. So I often hear people say they're lifting heavy. They're working out, this is their weight training day. They do strength once a week, but oftentimes they're doing 20 reps, 1-minute intervals, and those all fall within the same energy system. And that might be a reason why you're not seeing results, because you're not changing up the system that you're working in. You're not working to build muscle fiber, you're just staying in one system. All of them are great, but we need all of them, and we need to work in variations of all of them. It just happens that 17 and 20 is a really nice place to start, because you can start people off with body weight and really light weights that are accessible to them and feel approachable. So this exercise is a single leg RDL. We're focusing on hamstrings and glutes and teaching the hip hinge. We're going 3 seconds on the way down, 1 second on the way up, nice flat back, and really hoping that they're feeling and getting into the glutes and the hamstrings. A lot of times, because their feet are wobbly, they're not used to balancing like this, they'll feel their shins and their feet. And again, that's just a growing pain of this exercise. I would not immediately take it away from them and have them do something like the B stance version or the foot on the wall. People adapt really quickly, and if you give them the chance and if you are there supporting them as a trainer, they can do this. Very rare times have I had to give someone a wall to hold on to, or even provided my own fingertips for little bits of support. And I've worked with seniors, people who are coming back from injury, everything. So just trust that they can do it. So 17 to 20 each side. First set is body weight. Again, this is week 1, day 1. You're just getting them moving and in the gym. And also watching that the hips stay square. A lot of times people are really strong on the outer side and they tend to rotate out. So keep instructing to rotate in and hinge through the hips. 17 to 20 each side. It's really common with any type of hinging like this that people feel low back. I would mention at the beginning, if you feel low back, let me know, and just leave it there, because when they are starting out, this is a lot of information and they're focusing on a lot of different things. So constantly giving them cues is too much for them to handle and unnecessary, because even if you have faults like caving in, wrapping out, it's not the end of the world. They're little tweaks that you can fix. But if you're constantly bogging them down with a lot of information and maybe also speaking critically of how their form looks, they're mentally going to lose focus. So just try to let them find their way in this. You have 3 sets of this, so you have tons of time to work on their form. Okay, 30 seconds rest. Next one's over here. All right. I have like 10 seconds. I'm gonna take my 10 seconds. We're gonna do an incline dumbbell chest press. You can vary the degrees. This is 45 degrees. I love starting people here because it's a nice place to sit. They feel comfortable and supported. When you're on a completely flat bench, you are asking for a lot of range of motion and mobility in their chest, and some people don't have it. It can also feel uncomfortable. I like this, but other people start with like a 15-degree incline. They might go 55-degree inclines. That's up to you. So for this one, I'm going to start with the dumbbells from the top, and I create a little bit of a V shape. So my hands are turned in just slightly, not completely neutral. Slight turn in. I'm going to go 3 seconds on the way down and press. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Press. And our rep range is 17 to 20 reps. 7, and this is going to burn. I can already tell. Last one. Whew. Okay, 30 seconds rest, and again. Here we go, again. Legs, okay, and I'm gonna add weight to my legs because I can. All right. Got about 10 seconds. With this RDL, I would definitely, if you have the opportunity to give them weight, you can start light. Sometimes holding something gives them more of a core connection and more bracing, so they can balance far more easily than just balancing on one foot. And it also teaches them to find that squeeze and that connection to help balance. When people are starting out, it doesn't matter how advanced they are, try to get 1 dumbbell in each hand. Everybody needs to start from that place of finding that posture and balancing the weight. There's a lot of nuanced versions of doing this exercise where you add a wrap to the hip, where you offset and you hold one dumbbell in either hand. They're great variations, but this is your kind of OG, your home base. You can get a lot of glute growth from something like this. Stability in the hip, hamstrings. It's really effective. So why bring in all of that nuance, especially to clients that are just starting out, but even really experienced clients. I do get tired of seeing a lot of the nuanced stuff taking over, because 90% of the time you should be focused on your main core exercises and becoming very efficient in them. And then maybe 10% of your year is one of those nuanced type of exercises. But will it give you more glute growth or hamstring growth than the OG? I disagree with that, because it comes down to leveraging weight and the type of rep range and periodization that you're putting into your program, as well as many other factors like diet and balancing hormones and things. But yeah, just becoming really obsessed with trendy exercise won't do it all. It's always that hard work pays off. I think this is 20, but I've been talking, so I don't know, okay? I don't know, could be more. 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna chest press again. Whew. There are also different muscle fiber types. So there's more muscle fiber types that work better with endurance training, so 17 to 20 reps. And there's fast twitch muscle fibers that like to work more in, or do work better in heavier, more power movements. It's great to train all of them, but one of the main reasons why people don't see progress is because they're only training in one system, and they're calling it heavy lifting, and it's 20 reps. And that isn't heavy. Okay. With a lot of chest pressing, new clients will sometimes try to flatten their spine, get rid of the neutral curve in their back. That is harder on the body, puts a lot of stress on your spine and your discs. So it's better to maintain the neutral curve. So just little cues like that you can watch for, as well as the tempo. I forgot to say this, but when new clients are starting out and you give them a tempo, a lot of times you'll see them move all over the place. That's why the tempo is excellent and working to stabilize, because within a few weeks, that kind of erratic movement will be gone. They will feel really good and impressed with their progress, and then you know it's working too. Whew, 30 seconds, one more set. Okay. And could I go heavier on this? Probably, but I'm gonna be a little bitch today. And I'm not going to, okay? I'm feeling it, feeling the burn. 10 seconds. We're almost halfway done the workout. So if you have a new client, you've taught them a whole bunch of new things, their mind is probably overwhelmed, a whole bunch of new stuff, but you're moving through it so quickly, you're not dwelling on something and being like, oh, well, maybe we should do it this way, maybe we should do it that way. Just leave them be, move through the workout, just move on. I really feel like people dwell on things too much. They talk about doing rather than actually doing. And I am a big believer in just getting on with it rather than talking about it, because you can get a lot of work done in the space of time that you analyzed and overanalyzed, all of that stuff. And same with mobility. I'm stretching my hamstrings here. So someone has really tight hamstrings might only be able to go really short range of motion, no weight. That's totally fine. They will get better week to week. And if you're doing this exercise with them once a week, by the end of 4 weeks, they will have more stability and more mobility in their hamstrings and their hips. But if you tried an exercise like this, gave up on it, had them stretching, you will be in the same place as when you started. So again, with injury, depending what the injury is, say you pulled your hamstring, starting off with isometric holds, glute bridges, single leg work, that kind of thing. There's a whole bunch of different things you can do. Once you see a physio, once you get assessed, they will give you their recommendation. But you can start training. Taking months off isn't necessary. Your style of training will change, but you are immediately one day further ahead than if you had just waited around to hope that it would go away. And over time, there will be more scar tissue and more weakness in the hamstring. Whew. Oh my gosh. Okay, 30 seconds. One more set. And the hard stuff is over. I generally try to aim for 6 exercises in a workout. That changes depending on the intensity. For this one, 6 exercises is great. We're gonna do 7 today because I threw in an ab exercise, but that one is, I don't really count it as part of a typical program. It's just a bonus. And people love working abs. They always ask me for abs, ab work. Okay, last time, 17 to 20 reps. Whew. 3 seconds on the way down. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1, press. Okay. I did not think I was gonna get that. I was gonna bitch out of that and just do 17. Oh my God. Okay, that got me. I feel like the workout is what you make it, and I pushed myself on this. Okay, last 3 exercises. So this is the end of the workout where I start to back off of intensity. However, this one looks easy, but it is actually hard. This is a Swiss ball hamstring curl. So feet on the ball, the more leg you have on the ball, the easier it is. You're gonna hip thrust up, so my glutes are off the ground. I'm gonna bring the ball in and hip thrust as high as I can and release to a count of 3. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, pull and release. And again, we're going for 17 to 20 reps. For a lot of clients, especially starting out, this is really hard, but it recruits a lot of core, and they're lying down, and it's just kind of a nice way to wrap up while getting some great hamstring work in. You might hear a lot of strength trainers talking about working the back chain, and that is really important for athletics, for aesthetics, but especially for new clients to really support knee health, movement mechanics, and they will just start feeling even more supported in their day-to-day life. And if you find this is too much for them, You can relax on that hip thrust part and just let the hips fall a little bit lower and have them bring the ball in as far as you can. But again, really trust that they can get this. It is challenging, but if you give them the opportunity, they will be able to do it. Picture it as the first day that they might be struggling to get 17 reps in a row, and that's okay. They have to put the hips down, reset, but you're planning to work with them for weeks and weeks and weeks. So when you come back to this, it's gonna be better than the first time, and you can point that out to them, and they're gonna feel it. And then right away they feel and see progress in just 1 week of training. But yeah, I love that exercise. Okay, next one again, we get to lie down. All of my clients' favorites. We're gonna do a dumbbell skull crusher. So this focuses on the triceps, the back of the arm. Clients love working on that. But also, just holding the dumbbells up here takes a lot of shoulder stability. So some people will already be wobbling, and I would just start them off with 5-pound or lower dumbbells just to feel the movement, and then start progressing them up. And we're going for 17 to 20 reps, 3 seconds on the way down. Elbow position in triceps and biceps is really interesting and dictates the part of either one that you're working, and can also completely take tension off if you are folding and bringing the dumbbells up that way. So we want really isolated, strict tension in those triceps. Mine are burning. I think that's 17, 18, 19, 20. Whew. Okay. And one more exercise is the ab one. All of the important stuff for me is done. That is where my mind is at. Ab strength is awesome, but a lot of these exercises that we just did, all of them actually use your abs quite a bit. But this is kind of a nice break. So they have a break from the ball, a break from the upper body. They get to focus on abs. This is one of my favorite exercises. I've been doing it for a long time with clients. I learned it from a dance teacher, so I can't even take credit for it. But you bring one leg up nice and high. I have a hair on my shoe. One foot hovers off the ground. Already there, I can feel ab tension. Then I'm gonna come up and tap behind my knee. For some clients, it'll be very minimal, but already they're gonna feel a lot. I'm gonna rest my shoulders back down, tap, back, tap, and I'm gonna go for 10. Depending on the client, or if you have a group class, you could give a range and say 4 reps to 10 reps each side, and let your clients start to push themselves and find where their edge is. So if the low back is taking over here, if they have a lot of doming in the abs, or they just physically can't come up, they've hit muscle failure. And that is kind of a nice thing for them to learn when to stop, when to call it, and when they're just forcing reps that are messy. You want quality reps, quality work. Everybody wants the 6-pack abs. So it's kind of a nice way to introduce that concept of you have between 4 and 10 each side. I want nice reps. I want true muscle failure, true engagement, and then let them take it from there. It is the end of the workout, so they can dictate how they want to finish today. Although I probably still will push them as hard as I can. So yeah, you got 30 seconds, and then we're gonna go back to the ball for another 17 to 20 reps. I have a group training class as well as my one-on-ones, but in my groups and some of my one-on-ones, I've been doing this hamstring exercise with them, and they love it and hate it. But it's kind of like, I just get into trends of movements that I love, and this one I love. So I'm gonna demo this one that I've been doing with some clients. This is a strength-based exercise. It's an eccentric. And it's a nice challenge. So if you want to challenge yourself, I wouldn't do it a part of this kind of endurance workout, but if you want to add in a little challenge, give this a try. So you're going to hamstring curl the ball in. You're going to shift your weight to one side, and you're going to do an eccentric to 6 seconds. So it's 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000. Ton of tension on that hamstring. Bring the other foot down, roll in, and again, 6 seconds. My hips are driving up. I'm not braking. I am solid. Drag that out, and again, and we're doing 6 reps each side. This is kind of my move of the month. I'm loving this one. I do have a few clients that want even more, so they're doing the full roll in. So from a straight leg, single leg, they're rolling in and up, and then they're going in to these 6 seconds from there, and they're doing all 6 reps like this. So if you want a little fun challenge, something different, see where your stability's at, see where your hamstring strength is at, you can give that a shot. Okay, and now I'm done. My workout's done. Okay, thank you guys. Done. Protein shake time, rest time.